everybody, it's me Kayla and welcome back to my channel. So this week's video is actually a book review video. I don't normally post videos like this, but this book is gaining a lot of attraction and I just feel like I have some things to say about it before the movie premieres. So I'm going to talk about it with you guys. So yeah, here's my honest review of After by Anna Todd. That's right, today I'm reviewing After, which I mean, okay, I'm acting like you don't know this, but you do because So After is by Anna Todd, and she is a Wattpad author. I mean, now she's like a legit author, but this was originally a Wattpad story. If you don't know what Wattpad is, it's a online website where writers can just publish work and chapters and books, and you have access and you can read them and write your own. And it's basically a way for writers and book nerds to kind of come together. And there's a lot of it's really well known for fan fiction. And I've heard rumors that this started as a Harry Styles fanfiction, but I'm not like totally sure, so I'm not gonna like stir the pot with that because let's get into it, okay? This book was written to be entertaining. In no way is it super deep, although it does have some deep aspects that we will talk about. But overall, this book is meant to be entertaining. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Basically, this book starts off with Tessa waking up on the morning that she is leaving for college. So we are immediately introduced to her mother, which is very overbearing and kind of protective. She wants her to live a certain way, and her father is not in the picture, and she has a super cute, typical high school boyfriend. His name is Caleb. And so she soon, she has all these worries, and she embarks out into the world, and she gets to college. She's super excited, and then she meets her roommate. Her roommate is Steph, and she is a party girl, not at all what she basically thought, and kind of throws her off balance. Now, Steph is important because her group of friends is pinnacle to this. So there are many people in Steph's friend group, and So basically, she gets roped into going to a party after her boyfriend and mother leave because what else do you do when you go to college? Even though she's not a party girl, she gets dragged along and goes with her roommate, and at this party she eventually runs into Hardin. Now Hardin is this typical bad boy. He's got piercings, he's got tattoos, he lives in this party frat house. That's where all this party takes place, is at this frat house. And then, long story short, she gets roped into playing a game of Truth or Dare. Her and Hardin's paths collide, and thus begins the collision of After. Basically, after her and Hardin meet, they run into each other a lot. She slowly gets roped into this friend group and ends up going to parties and doing stuff that she never would have thought to do before. And she kind of realizes how sheltered she is. Stuff happens. So, I don't even know where to begin the rest of the book. So eventually, her and Hardin run into each other. They have a lit class together. But anyway, so thus begins the cycle of Hardin and Tessa. So they soon begin an off and on relationship, not really relationship, but basically he gets her defenses down and shows her stuff and sensations and mature content that I will not talk about. And she realizes that her whole world, that she, again, is sheltered, and she basically cheats on her boyfriend Caleb, long story short, and then breaks up with him and then starts to really develop a relationship with Hardin, or so she thought. So throughout literally like 300 plus pages, it's literally just this cycle of her and Hardin having good moments. She thinks she got through this tough boy jerk demeanor, and then somebody blows up. Usually it's Hardin because Hardin has issues, which we'll talk about in a minute, about the toxicity of it all. And then they obviously have the steamy makeup and it's all good, and I can see the appeal of this. Like, this book is entertaining. Like, Hardin is described to be very hot. Like, it's everything you need for a swoon-worthy book. But this cycle is so repetitive, you can see it coming every time, and I swear every other page included the word "he snapped," because I don't understand, okay? So like, everything's good and then it's bad and then it's not, and I could dive into the specifics of the rest of this book and the ending, which is a major plot twist, but I'm not going to ruin the ending because it left me shook. we're going to move on from the content of this. Instead, this whole book is basically about the on and off again relationship of Tessa and Hardin and all of the stuff that happens with that. So let's get into the specifics of their relationship. So Hardin and Tessa's relationship is built a lot about physical attraction, but also difference. So Tessa is not like any of the girls Hardin ever has been with, and Hardin is a better person around her, so he really likes her because she makes him want to be a better person, and Tessa believes that she is good for him and she can help him. So you kind of see the start of definitely a toxic relationship. Now, Hardin has issues, literal issues. So he had a very traumatic childhood. He does not know how to properly talk about his emotions or handle them, for that matter. He doesn't do relationships, so this whole on and off thing with Tessa is just like a mess, and he doesn't know how to like sort through things. So you kind of see the romanticizing, I don't know how to say that, but basically this horrible relationship gets over romanticized, okay? Because the thing is, Hardin's a horrible person. He does not know how to filter through his emotions, and he does not know how to be a good partner, a good boyfriend, and constantly is just literally an awful person and treats her like crap. Now, a lot of people say that their relationship is horrible, and I agree. Should never happen. She should dump him. But they sometimes, in reviews you will see online, pin Tessa as being just this innocent girl who gets her life changed, and then I don't even know. But Tessa knows that this relationship is bad. And at multiple points in the book, she goes, no, this is bad. She turns them away. So, like, I'm not gonna, like, say justify the relationship and be like, well, they're both aware that it's bad because, I mean, they are. But Tessa does understand that Hardin is not a great person for her and that he is a jerk and that she deserves better. But what you see, which I think is actually kind of cool, is without even trying to, because this book isn't deep, it's purely entertaining drama. That's literally all it is. But one thing that I was surprised about was the subtle lessons with like mental health and disorders and like PTSD and just like, you know, how your behavior is affected by your mental health and experiences. And one thing that actually kind of made me be like, whoa, is that Tessa like obviously identified this and was like, he's really, really struggling. And she didn't just be like, let me be a savior, you know, but she was willing to work through him and she wasn't just going to drop him, you know. And yes, sometimes she used it, both of them used his past, his traumatic stuff as a way to kind of blame their fights, be like, oh, you were just upset, it's okay, you just need to learn how to control it. But you also see this like understanding of her realizing that like the true Hardin and the guy that he wants to be is in there. He just needs help becoming that person. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but this relationship is not as just like, I mean, it is toxic, but it's not as like black and white as many people presume it to be. There are a lot of other parts to it that don't just make it this typical off and on again thing. Like, it is off and on again, but there's also outside variables that accumulate to make it not quite what you would think. I hope that made sense. I feel like I just word vomited and just spit out a bunch of words. I hope you are seeing this. But anyway, so all in all, this book is probably a 3 out of 5 stars for me. Reasons being, it was very entertaining. I read it very fast, and honestly, I did enjoy some parts of it. There are some really funny parts. I really loved following Tessa's character as she became this shy and sheltered girl to having this understanding of the world and really growing into herself and who she wants to be. You know, you see her take a step back from her mother and be like, listen, I don't want to be that way. You know, especially like with her breakup with Caleb. Like, I loved following Tessa's journey and getting to discover her realizing things, I guess. So that's why it's that high, is because it's entertaining, it was a fast read, and it did, some expectations were actually kind of met. The writing at the beginning is really choppy, but as you continue, the writing gets way better. I do think there are some over descriptive scenes, but as a whole, the writing is not what I thought it would be. You know, thinking about the SWAT pad, like, I did not expect it to be the quality that it was. So, therefore, that is why it's 3 out of 5 stars. Now, the big issues I had, I kind of talked about, why it's not obviously 5 out of 5 stars, because only certain books get that, aka anything Sarah J Maas. The cycle got very boring. This book, okay, you know what? This book is cringy. Surprise if you didn't know that. This book is a emotional roller coaster where it's literally just like a loop-de-loop over and over and over again. Hence, you know, the whole cycle thing of them fighting and getting back together and all that. This book is not groundbreaking. It is not phenomenal. It's, I don't know how to describe it. It's interesting. I have not read anything like it. If you want to give it a shot, I say go for it. But for me personally, I'm not going to continue the series because this first book, you know, it's just its own entity. Now, I'm very excited for the movie to come out because the guy who plays Hardin is hot. But I'm really excited to see how they take this it's kind of a mess, big book, and turn it into a movie that actually looks kind of good. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna see the movie. Would I recommend this book? Probably not. Do I think you should waste your time reading it? No, but I would say if you are planning on seeing the movie, definitely read the book because it gives you a heads up on what you're getting yourself into and what you can expect from the big screen. So, without further ado, I don't know what I'll say. Remember to like and subscribe down below. Hit the bell icon to be notified every time I upload a video. And if there are any other books you want me to attempt to review, still trying to get the hang of reviewing. I mean, I love reviewing books, but just like, I feel unorganized. With a video, check out my Instagram, kayla.rose_reads, as well as my Goodreads, which is Kayla Rose. And yeah, I don't know what I'll say. Check out my other videos, be amazing people, and read lots of books. Bye, guys!